Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Today's video is going to be the mid-year freakout tag. I had another tag planned to do today, but then I watched Jesse the Reader's video the other day and he was doing this tag and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, it's June. It's that time again. It's that time again, folks. So yes, that's the video we're gonna do today. But before we do that, hydrate, very important. Go get some water. Go on. You can pause the video for a bit if you want. I don't mind. But go get yourself a drink of water or like juice or something. Go and hydrate. Go on. I'll be here. Anyway, so I can't remember who the original creator of this is. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. But yeah. So yes, I have the questions written down here. Remember this. Do you remember this? If you're an OG member of my channel, then you remember this notebook. Because I would do tag videos and I would write down all the questions in this notebook. So I have the questions written here. So let's go. So the best book of 2022 thus far, ladies and gentlemen and NBs, goes to Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I buddy read this with Amy over book 2 with Amy, and we both fell in love with this story. It is about a man called Wallace, and he passes away, and a reaper comes to get him. He turns into a ghost, and he's at his own funeral, and he's hearing all these things being said about him. Not all good, like really, like no good at all, just all bad. And then this reaper comes to get him and she's all like, come with me, you know, it's time for you to go. So he goes to this tea shop. You see that tea shop? And he meets a man in there called Hugo and an old man called Nelson. And there's a ghost dog. No, don't talk about the ghost dog. And he spends some time there, and it's basically, he's thinking back on his life and the person that he used to be when he was alive, his relationship with his wife while he was married, his relationship with his co-workers who he thought were his friends, but they really weren't. And he comes to find that like, oh, maybe I wasn't the best person in the world. And then it's just and then Hugo is there sort of like encouraging him, you know, like you have to let go of all this baggage because, you know, it's the end for you. You have to like learn to let go and to allow yourself to pass on. And yes, I have 2 different copies of this book. This is the standard hardback, which I bought because I want to reread this book. And I want to like annotate things. And this is my Illumicrate edition. And I don't want to ruin my Illumicrate edition, see, with the edge and stuff like that. So keep this one nice. And I'll reread this one at some stage and like annotate it and stuff. So, because the first time I read it on my Kindle. So I couldn't really annotate. But like, I love this book. It's beautiful. And if you have not read it yet, highly recommend that you do, because both me and Amy were weeping messes by the end of it, let me tell you. Best sequel of 2022 thus far. I know I've read quite a lot of sequels, but a lot of them have been like endings to a series. One in particular that I have to give it to, because very much like Under the Whispering Door, I feel like this book changed me, and that's Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. I have to say it. Like, it's so beautiful and so poignant and so beautifully written that like I genuinely could not put this book down for the life of me when I was reading it. It made me feel all of the feelings, like all of the words that are written on these pages right here just touched my heart. And yeah, I love it. I really wish that I'd annotated it and highlighted some things, but obviously I just couldn't. I was just like constantly, you know, just like, and woo, I nearly dropped my book. And by the end of it, like, again, I feel like a changed person after reading it. Like, and if you've read the first one and you haven't read this one yet, I recommend that you do, you know, like go get it from a library or something, or buy it used or something, you know, you don't have to buy a new copy. What is the next question? New release you haven't read, but want to. The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. I have The Bronze Beasts by Roshani Chokshi on the shelf here behind me, but I want to reread the first two in that trilogy first. Like, I don't want to just jump into the third book because it wouldn't be fair, because I don't remember anything that happened in the first two. So gonna reread Gilded Wolves and Silvered Serpents first, and then read Bronze Beasts. Dark Rising by C.S. Pacat. I want to read that so bad so soon. Like, because C.S. Pacat wrote the Captive Prince trilogy, which is up there, hiding behind Shishomaru. And I love C.S. Pacat's writing, so I really want to read Dark Rise real soon. And what else? Or something else. I know there's definitely some, but I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm an old hag and I forget. Oh, most anticipated release for second half of the year. Kingdom of the Feared is coming out, I believe, in September. Third book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series, which is where on this shelf? Oh, it's down here. It's down here. So Kingdom of the Feared is the third in that series. It's coming out in September. Hold on. I think no, not Her Majesty's Coven. There's another, because I have another notebook here that has like other books that I've written down. A Million to One by Adiba Jagradar. That's coming out in December of this year. Very excited about that. Blood Mart by Tracy Dion coming out in November. Very excited about that. Again, I'm sure there is more, but can't remember off the top of my head. I'll just put those down there. Let's see. Biggest Disappointment, Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrian Young. Sapphic, witchy romance, but it was not good. And Deathless Girls by, what's the author's name? Can't remember. But yeah, Deathless Girls. It was our book of the month, I think, back in March. Again, not good. Like, why are the Sapphic books letting me down? Like, please suggest me actual good Sapphic books. Like, I know A Million to One is coming, but like ones that are maybe already out that came out in the past 6 months or so that you think that I would like, let me know. Or just like Sapphic books in general, please. Because those two that I read were so just... biggest surprise? Do you know what? I'm going to give it to Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Not because I didn't think I would enjoy this, but because after reading Solitaire, my expectations were lower. Because Solitaire is not my favourite of Alice Oseman's, but I read this, and this was so beautiful. I actually tried listening to the audiobook for this first, and y'all, like, I had it on 2x1 speed, and the narrator just sounded like she was just talking normally, like the way I am right now with you. She didn't sound like she was speaking any faster. And she kept taking like really unnecessary long pauses to the point where I thought that my audiobook had stopped. But like, you don't need to pause in the middle of a sentence. But yeah, I was genuinely surprised that I love this so much. And yeah, if you haven't read Radio Silence, you definitely should. Favorite new author. Favorite new author. Honestly, Lynette Noni. Lynette Noni, discovered her in the past few months. You know, the Prison Healer series is everything to me. I'm reading Blood Trader right now, and wow. wow. And Shiran J. Zhao, I have Iron Widow sitting over there. Like, love them. Like, I already love their YouTube videos, and whenever I read their book, I was like, okay. Well, color me intrigued. And I already loved Alice Oseman, but I love her even more now because, you know, they have just grown so much as a writer, and I love everything about her. Like, I honestly really do. Newest fictional... Now, the next two questions are newest fictional crush and newest favourite character. I'm going to combine those two because I don't really have a crush on like either one of these characters. I just think they're amazing. Alid Last. I know I keep talking about Radio Silence, but Alid Last from this book. Sweetest, most precious boy to ever walk the face of the earth, and we need to protect him. He's everything to me. And Francis as well. Honestly, Francis and Alid's friendship. So pure. But then on the other side, I'm gonna say Kaz Brecker. Because whenever I was reading Six of Crows and just reading from his perspective again and just being back in Ketterdam again, I was like, like the chokehold the Casbreaker has me in. Honestly, love it. Book that made you cry. Well, ta-da! Ta-da! Da-da-da-da. Like, all of these. All of these. What other book made me cry? I cry very rarely, but like those ones that I just lifted up definitely made me cry. So let's just... Right, 3 more questions. Let's go. A book that made you happy. A book that made me happy. Well, Radio Silence gave me all the feelings, but it also made me really happy. Spells Trouble by PC Cast and Kristen Cast made me really happy because I just, like a good YA fantasy witchy vibe, like just moment just made me so happy. Like, it's books like this that remind me why I love young adult fiction so much. Like, just made me very happy. And what other books made me happy? A lot of books make me happy. You know, Gay Club by Simon James Green. That made me really happy. Like, reading about, you know, gay stuff. That makes me really happy. Most beautiful book you have bought so far. Well, I haven't read it yet. But the Fairy Loot edition of Book of Night is pretty beautiful. I'm not subscribed to Fairy Loot anymore. Nothing personal. I want to save myself the extra 20 quid every month. But I have one more box coming, and that's the box for this month, which they'd already dispatched out to me anyway. So, and then it was after that I cancelled. So I'll be getting that soon, and I'll unbox that. But that'll be the last Fairy Loot box that I'll open for you. But Book of Night by Holly Black. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Like, just solid black edges. And I just need you to see what is underneath here, okay? Like, I haven't even read this yet, and I'm completely and utterly shook, as the kids would say. But, like, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Like, look at that. On the back it says, there'd always been something wrong with Charlie Hall. Crooked from the day she was born. Never made a bad decision she wasn't willing to double down on. Had fingers made for picking pockets, a tongue for lying, and a shriveled cherry pit for a heart. Bit long to have in the back of your book, but like, look at that. It's beautiful. And the art on the inside, like, oh wow. I haven't read this yet, like I said, but I mean, I've heard mixed things. You know, a lot of people are like, it's supposed to be adult and it reads so young adult, but I am going to take that with a pinch of salt, my dudes, and I'm going to read it for myself. And it leads me into the next question. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I want to read Book of Night. I want to read Bronze Beasts. I want to read Dark Rise. I have a whole bunch of middle grade books on my shelf that I really, really want to read. Because I've been sleeping on middle grade as of lately, like, you've no idea. Yeah, I just want to go through as much of my TBR as possible because I have so many great books on my shelves that I've neglected, that I've been sleeping on, and I want to get to them. So yeah, that is the mid-year freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are hydrated. Go get a drink of water, like right now, honestly. I'm going to take another drink. That was a big one. Didn't mean to take that much, but anyway, I shall love you and leave you. Twitter, Instagram, down below as always. Subscribe if you are new, and be sure to ring the bell so that you know when my next video comes out, which will be on Tuesday, which funnily enough is going to be another book tag. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I hope you're all having a good weekend, and I shall see you on Tuesday with my next video. Bye!